you're like a lot of guys, you could probably think of a million things you'd rather be doing than shopping for clothes. Between the parking, the crowds at the mall, and the endless browsing and lack of advice online, it's enough to make you want to rock the same old jeans and t-shirts forever, but you can't. So let me tell you about Stitch Fix Men. They've reimagined how to find and buy clothes, and you never even have to leave the house. It is that easy, best friends. Just go to stitchfix.com, tell them your sizes, your favorite type of clothes, and how much you want to spend. Then your personal stylist gets to work hand-picking new clothes for you based on the style and budget. 5 items are delivered right to your door, you try them on at home, and you only pay for what you keep. Shipping is free both ways, so anything you don't want, just send it back, and exchanges are always free too. You can get your fix monthly, quarterly, or whenever you feel like it. There's no subscription required. It's easy, the shipping is free, so why wouldn't you give it a try? Get started now at stitchfix.com/Greggy, and you'll get an extra 25% off when you keep all 5 items in your box. That is stitchfix.com/Greggy to get started today, stitchfix.com/Greggy. Jen used this service, and she loved it. She used the woman's one, not the men's one. My wife is not a woman. Not that it would matter if she was. You know what? Just can we go to let's just do the show. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the GameOverGreggy show. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the glue, Kevin Coelho.
Hey.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
I've missed you. You were gone all last week.
Yeah.
It was devastating without you. We barely kept our heads above water.
But you did, and
we kept our heads underwater the whole time.
The whole time.
Next to him.
We had a snorkel, so it was easy.
Fish in the water.
We were. Kevin hung out with the turtle.
Yep.
Was close to the turtle.
Didn't touch him.
Wait,
It was illegal.
Did not touch him.
So you were in the ocean and a turtle came up to you.
Yep.
Well,
I
think I went up to him.
Okay.
Turtle or
Snorkeling.
tortoise?
Turtle.
Well, tortoises will maybe
Tortoises would not do
So
well.
it's like this big?
No,
No,
it was
it
like
was-
this big. If I were to hug it like I wanted to, but I couldn't legally.
But
I
you,
would've
did
had
you?
to-
But did you?
You
No,
didn't know.
no,
The whole
no,
boat
no.
screamed to Kevin because
Yeah.
Kevin got real close to the turtle.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Don't touch it!
I didn't. I mean, I guess I got really close to him.
He was like this close to the turtle.
I was arm distance. I could have touched it.
How big's its head?
Couldn't legally.
The head was like
The head
that
was like
big.
that big. It was adorable.
If you're
though.
at home, it's like size of a small
Of one of the mini
basketball.
Greg's.
A good sized potato.
That's not
Like
what
a
all
potato
it's
with eyes?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it kept like popping out of the water to breathe, and it was adorable.
Aw.
Yeah.
Turtles are cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Over there, the pure one at Tim Gettys.
Let's him host.
You weren't here last week either,
I
but
wasn't.
we did pretty well without covering your parts,
I get it.
except for like making money.
I don't do too much.
No,
I just sit here,
no,
drink
Tim.
LaCroix.
No, yeah, there was a definite drop in our LaCroix.
I didn't have LaCroix for 9 days.
How'd that treat
It was
you?
hard.
Yeah. Did they not have it over there yet?
Someone had it.
Someone
remember
did.
that?
We saw someone with it.
Hasn't it been around since like the 80s? Is it like, I always remember that as like the what like stingy Beverly Hills moms would drink.
Yeah.
And then suddenly it became
It's
what
made its way
everyone-
here.
Yeah.
Basic.
Basic.
Over
Legally
here,
basic.
I don't
ladies
know where
and
to
gentlemen,
look. That one?
you look at the main camera or never. You don't have to do anything. Over here, ladies and gentlemen, a friend of mine who I enjoy very much and comic creator, Sina Grace. How are you, sir?
No pit stains.
No,
Right?
Hell
that's
yeah,
it.
you're
That's
doing
a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, you're above Kevin.
Don't have to make
Good.
me feel bad.
No
Well,
star.
you know.
All of this is like innuendo, by the way. As a gay man, I'm just like, everything you guys have said from that turtle head on, I was just like, Jesus.
How big
I was
was
trying
it?
real hard to not make a dick reference to the turtle, but
How many times did the head pop out?
a lot. Many.
Several.
Many.
It needed to breathe.
Kept telling Kevin not to touch it, but he just insists on touching it.
Touching
Every
the turtle
time
I
it
did
pops
not.
out.
I did not
legally
touch
you
it.
couldn't
Yeah.
touch it, yeah.
Is this one of those things where they can still come at you for this? Is that why
Nobody
you're being
knows.
so clear?
Nobody knows Hawaiian law.
I don't know. Our
If it was a
boat
bird, I could tell you
guy-
the law, but
We get on this boat, Greg Miller. All right,
Yeah.
it was a party boat, and there was like I don't know 20 of us or whatever. And the captain dude comes out. It's exactly what you'd think in Hawaii. This dude, shirtless, bronze as bronze can be. All right,
Sure.
He comes out and he's like, "Yo, brother, my name's Crash, with the K." And it's like, God, you're so.
we
cool.
don't have C.
He's like, we don't have C's here in Hawaii.
He was
Couldn't
awesome.
even deal with it. It's like, man, I like you.
Was he cool? Or yeah, he was.
He
oh,
was
yeah?
really
The
cool.
coolest.
I didn't know if this is like a Captain Ron situation. You remember Captain Ron, the movie?
No, I'm just gonna admit that, but I want to find out more about
don't know
Crash
what that's
2.
Crash 2, fantastic game, best in the trilogy. But Crash,
It's an opinion.
The captain, great dude, super fun guy. Wouldn't let me jump off the top of the boat. I didn't appreciate that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Did you add him on Facebook?
I didn't. We should look up Crash with a K on Facebook.
I don't think that we'll
I don't
find
think
him.
he. Yeah,
Yeah.
no. He lives by the sea, dies by the sea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dives by the sea or dies?
Dies.
Okay.
He's gonna die. in this
Do you
season.
feel like island life changed you guys?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah?
It gave me a color that's not bright pink.
Yeah. You do
So
have
that's
some
nice.
skin color.
Slightly
That's
less
nice.
bright pink.
I'm
is
slightly
what it
less
is.
bright pink. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
What did you has it been hard to transition back into your daily roles here? Or do you
Yes.
still feel like you have that vacation vibe? Like whatever
Yeah,
happens,
I'm
man.
still in that shock.
That's the way I've lived my life always.
No.
I just found the right place for it, you know?
Okay.
How's that? How cool.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
How are you doing right now? Because it's the final countdown to the wedding.
Oh, smooth. I'm panicking because there's a whole bunch of things, like internally, but I'm keeping that on. Well, because now I have to figure out the music by like Wednesday.
By Wednesday.
Yeah.
We got it. Don't worry.
Okay.
Is there a band? Is there a band?
No, I was like a DJ.
Just a DJ?
Yeah. He
So what-
seems
what's
cool.
the
His name's
point?
Vinyl
Terry.
or MP3s?
Definitely
Vinyl.
MP3s. It's definitely going to be a
MP3s,
computer
unfortunately.
hooked up to Spotify. They'll hit play and then.
So yeah, what's to figure out about the music?
I gotta figure out what it's gonna
Playlists
be
and
for
shit.
like the walking out part.
Oh.
You know?
Because we just did a wedding that was like all types of crazy. James coming out to James Bond music.
Okay.
Not gonna
We
do any of
the
that
best
fancy
men
stuff.
came out to the Star Wars throne music. It was really cool. I'm not
They did a
gonna
good
lie.
job.
So you officiated. Did you come out to the Cantina song?
I didn't come out. I didn't have music. I very much was like, I will officiate, but I do not want to make this about me.
Sure.
I was like, I do not want to say my name during this. I don't want to do everything because like my friends get all like, Tim Gettys is all famous now. Blah blah blah.
Was it your idea
I'm
to
like,
pull
don't
out the
fucking do
selfie
this
stick?
shit.
Or was that
no?
theirs?
That was not my
Okay,
idea.
I figured it was
Not
theirs.
my idea.
I figured it was theirs.
I did take a selfie during that.
Like I did at Scott and Cindy's.
Yeah, it's
Stealing my material now.
Missy did. She's smart.
Fucking bitch.
Smart girl.
If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Game Over Greggy show each and every week. 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather around this table, each bring a random topic discussion for your amusement. If you like that, head over to patreon.com/kindafunny, where you can get a whole bunch of perks, goodies, and exclusives and watch the show early. How early, Kevin?
Yeah, it's live now. It's live now.
You can watch it as recorded right now live, or wait until Friday when we post early video and MP3 access, or wait and get it for free on youtube.com/kindafunny Monday through Thursday, topic by topic, day by day, until it goes up as one big video and MP3.
I wish I could do the tongue click or whatever the drag queens do, because it needs that at the end.
What?
You can't do it either.
What? I don't know what it is.
Drag queens too.
I have to pull up a clip. The tongue pop. No, I can't. I don't know how to do it, so I'm just.
I don't even know what you're talking about. I just want to be included.
All right. Someone say something while I look it up.
I went to a gay bar on Friday for the first time in forever, and I did not see any drag queens or hear anything. I don't know what the tongue.
What are they
click is.
clicking at?
Super curious. Like, is it a good click?
Bad click?
Alyssa Edwards, she was the best at it. So all right. Let me see if there's just a quick way to do it. Here's someone's video. Let me just play the audio.
Sure.
I'm also very interested what he's.
Like this. That's not tongue popping. Some people tongue pop like this. That's tongue popping, but it's not glam. This
not glam.
is tongue popping.
Oh,
Jesus!
Hey guys.
How do you get it up there?
That
I don't
seems
know.
Like something
I gotta-
to do with your shoes.
We gotta
I
watch.
still don't understand what it is.
You gotta.
It's
bring
a really
shakes.
harsh.
It's just the noise you make, but Alyssa Edwards.
But what's
she
it
was-
supposed to mean?
It's just kind of a good way to there's probably a real meaning, but for me, it's it's just a very loud, literal way to put a period at the end of something. Like if I was trying to zing you and I was like, oh, you walked out in that shirt today. Oh, no comment from you, and then I like the shirt. That's why I said that.
Damn.
No, Tim's shirt game is.
I don't like this shirt.
Beyond
at all.
reproach.
It's too light.
Meh.
For
Too light?
The
Too
dots.
light.
No,
Oh,
I
I
think
like
it.
that.
I think it goes with
It
the tan.
adds.
It works.
It does go with the tag.
Are
You
you?
hear that?
Here's the one thing I was wondering after looking at you today, Tim, and
Yeah.
thinking about you. Are you wearing an undershirt, or are
No.
you just okay?
Is the nips out?
No. It was just the fact that usually
Hawaii changed 'em.
when your V starts going deep, I see the top of the old white
It's too
beater.
hot for that shit.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We don't play no games out here in the RGV or whatever
Yeah,
the hell.
exactly.
Yeah,
No,
it's
that's right.
fine.
Yeah, it's Rio Grande Valley. Yeah, I learned that
Yeah,
while you were
Rio
gone.
Grande
too.
Valley.
Yeah. Anyways, Sina,
Hey.
you're making a book called Iceman.
Yes.
You write
Yes.
this. You write Iceman right now.
Yes, for Marvel Comics.
Iceman.
We like comics a lot.
I like comics a lot.
We like your comic.
I like my comic too. I like you guys.
Oh,
so
thank
this
you
is
so
perfect.
much. No, yeah.
This is gonna be great and not
don't
not
get ahead of
stressful.
yourself. Oh no, it's not gonna be stressful at all. Just talking to us 2 hours about it, whatever we want to come up with. Don't worry about it.
Not worried in the slightest. I can
How the
handle it.
fuck did Iceman happen?
I'd been working with an editor at Marvel Comics here and there for a little bit, and I really wanted something besides a 10-page annual once a year.
Yeah.
A 10-page story once a year. And I actually like cold pitched a generation. Is that
Yeah.
anyone
I get
know?
it.
Well,
Iceman.
That's really
And
good.
Oh, and also it's really hot here today,
Yeah.
and so the fan's on. So if you hear a fan in the background, you gotta suck it up, otherwise we die.
Your words, not mine. But no, I had actually pitched them Generation X before I knew that they were going to do it, because I was like, oh, I really like, this is what I would do at Generation X. I'm just trying to show you, like, I'm your idea man. Like, you know, you got to work with me. I'm just full of them. And they were like, yeah, cool. No. And then one day, my editor at the time, Daniel Ketchum, was like, hey, so we're gonna do something with Iceman, because he came out like 2 years ago and nothing ever really happened with that. Like, what would you do? And I wrote a little pitch document, and I always talk about this, but I just didn't think that it was going to be, I didn't think I was like up against anyone. I just thought it was like very conversational. Like I was like, well, yeah, here's what I would do. And then, yeah. And like, this is like the most like stupid thing. And I was like, and then I got the job. But no, I think it came from that. It came from not being stressed and not trying to like keep up with any Joneses,
Yeah.
and just think like, what shits do I give about this guy? And and I'm really happy with it. So, you know, for people who are not aware, I believe it was 2015 or 2014 that he came out.
I think it was 14 because we were still at IGN at the time.
Really?
So.
See, and this is the thing, is like, I'm, you know, a DC kid. I'm reading more Marvel now than ever, reading Marvel Unlimited, try to catch up on the big stuff, and I'm reading stuff week to week. I missed this happening. I didn't remember this happening. And then when you obviously started talking about, hey, I got the book, here's what it is, I was like, oh, okay. Do you remember it?
Well, so me and Kev went back, and when they did the whole thing where the original X-Men, there's the time displacement or whatever, and
Right.
what was that storyline called? They relaunched X-Men.
Well, it was
I remember
it
this.
led to Battle for the Atom. I know what that was that was what the like culmination of all that was. But that was when Bendis started, was he brought those kids back.
yeah, and that was a really cool run, and they
Yeah.
did all that, and it was around there because there was the young Bobby Drake, and then so there was two Icemen.
And that's the thing. And he talks about this in issue 1. That's where I was like double backing, trying to figure it out. Because young Bobby Drake coming into current time since I didn't read that, I didn't get the one thing. Young Bobby Drake's here, and he's like, I'm gay because it's like okay to be gay in our time.
So yeah, I'm like, oh hey guys, no. So what happened is in Uncanny X-Men 600, I believe, Jean Grey is like, yo bro, like she can read his mind, and she's younger, and so like she just kind of spells it out for him, and he's like, oh okay. And then they go and they talk to the older Bobby Drake, and it's kind of like the logic is like, if he's gay, like you're him. And then the older Bobby Drake is just like, fuck. Like he's like, I just so didn't want to deal with this. Like I just so wanted to keep it deep down inside and not have to like be persecuted for another thing, and not have to like defend myself over and over again. And then so they did that. And then after that storyline, they kind of were building towards Inhumans versus X-Men, and so there wasn't an opportunity for kind of character development for the older Bobby Drake, and that's where this series comes in. It's like, okay, well, with that in mind, and with him kind of, addressing parts of himself he didn't want to deal with, like, how does that apply to a superhero comic? And I'm having a blast with it, and I think readers are finally like starting to trust me a little bit. In the beginning, they were like, "Nah, this guy doesn't have it." And then with issue 5,
That's where you turn the corner?
I think so. Well, I did some cool like Omega Mutant stuff with him, and then people were like, oh, "Okay, like all the like lame stuff was a build up to
All the
like
lame stuff, all the character development, and all the real shit. Yeah, the lame stuff.
Well, he goes against like one purifier in the first issue, but to me, I'm like, he's at a hospital, his dad's in the hospital, he's thinking about the civilians, like that's why this purifier kind of is like keeping up with him, so to speak. And the purifier is also super armed, but it is just like one purifier against an Omega level mutant, so like, you know, fans are like and then the second issue, both his and Kitty Pryde's powers are like going haywire, so they don't use them, and so yeah, it was just one of those like, people thought it was a little tame, and I was just building, I was just ramping up, but you know, attention spans, people don't have them anymore.
Was that hard for you? I mean, you're setting off on this narrative, you have a storyline in mind, and you're taking it on the chin right away.
I like the challenge of having to like think quick and think fast, and you know, I don't know, like some people would maybe get like ticked off, but I think it's kind of the notes I'm getting and the feedback I'm getting in terms of trying to tell the story at a quicker pace is making for better storytelling. Like, this is like not a humble brag because I'm still like, I was very intimidated by this, but like I got on a call with Axel Alonso and he was like, I read everything you wrote, man. It's looking good, but you're taking too long. Like, this is my idea. Like, he didn't say it like that. He was like, this is what I would suggest, not this, I'm putting something you have to do. But he was like, this is what I'd suggest is like, he's like, I love Doc Hen in the book. Like, I think Bobby needs to come out in that issue. And then he fights Juggernaut. And originally it was going to be like, he came out, I think, like in the 6th issue. So he pushed things like 2 issues forward. And when
you're saying come out, what do you mean to his parents? Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
Just making sure. So if somebody hasn't read, by the way, we're spoiling all 5 issues, so you should just go back.
I mean, but it's like the journey,
Sure.
It's
Oh
like,
no,
it's
I
like
love
definitely.
it.
It's like what happens, not no. It's how it happens, not what happens. There we go. It's not like Secret
Whatever
Life.
gets you to buy the fucking book, that's what it is.
Yeah, it's whatever validates $3.99. But yeah, so it's cool because it just like it was like, oh, like whoa, like now I'm making this book that like every page 20 is like a cliffhanger, and like it's like, oh, that's cool. Now I'm like, oh, I try to think of it, and it isn't always like that, but I do try to like find a way to sort of make everything feel like a season finale as possible. Like, there'll be a stretch of Game of Thrones episodes where you're like, how is this only episode 4?
Yeah.
I have 6 more left. I'm fucking ejaculating. So I want to do...
That's Tim every time.
That is me.
Every time.
Love it.
I didn't see the zombie dragon yet.
It's there.
What are you
I
doing?
know. Writing.
Are you busy? You're too busy for Game of
Busy.
Thrones?
Take like 2 hours off and watch
Yeah,
the
man,
rest of the
it's worth it.
episodes. It's so
worth
good.
it.
I was catching up on Peaky Blinders, which probably isn't the right
Peaky
answer.
Blinders.
Blinders.
Don't know what that is.
I've heard of it. I forget what it is though.
It's like Downton Abbey meets like Sopranos.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Quite.
Yes, it's violent and guns. Anyway, but yeah, that's
guns.
writing this book. There's probably more to say about it, but yeah, I love it. It's cool.
Is
It's
it
very
an
cool.
ongoing, or is there like an end to it?
There's an ongoing, but like, or there's an end in the sense of like, you never know with the market. So I kind of like, I treat it like TV seasons where it's like, okay, and if that's the end, that's the end.
Gotcha.
But I also am like, however, if it's not the end, here's where he goes next. But in my head, if I'm super lucky, I'd get 2 years on this. Like I'd get 25 issues. If I, that's my best case scenario.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So is it that far planned out for you?
For me, it's planned out like no, yes and no, because there's things I wanted to do with 24 issues that Marvel was like, that's a long game. Like, and back to the advice of like, things need to hit like quicker. So I've scrapped my long game idea, but I do have broad strokes that could go as far as like 20 issues. But the thing there was like a love story I had in my head, but it's just not. It's not gonna happen.
He's not gonna find love in this?
Well, that I can't answer.
Okay.
But I don't know. I don't know if I want to answer that at all.
Okay, don't.
But
I mean,
gonna
keep me on.
say-
As it's just like for me reading it, right, and like again having missed the original coming out storyline, right, or the announcement and the change, and then but picking up because I'm your friend and fan, I'm reading through it, and like when when his parents ask him like, have you been with a man yet? And he's like, oh, well, this is an inappropriate question, but no, it's just like, I wonder if I'm gonna get to see that in this book, and even not even the tension, but like when he's with Draken, right, or like in their dancing, and they're right close. I can't pronounce words. They're right there, face to face. It's
Oh
like,
yeah,
all right.
I had no logical reason, like I had no like narrative purpose for that scene besides like I was like, this is some cool ass like CW shit that I would get into if I was reading this book. Like we got to have these men in fucking fly suits like dancing with each other. And my editor was like, but like, don't you think you're pigeonholing? I was like, no, like I'll figure it out. I'll figure out where the story goes. Like, don't worry. Like I was just building around that. I was building around the dance sequence here. Let's find it. They have this like really sexy like cutie. Like,
Well, when I was reading it, right, what it was like to me, it was cool to see them do it and it not be abnormal or weird, because it is the fact of this is like you've seen in every spy
see
movie.
it?
Cool, Greg.
Cool, Greg,
Cut
cool.
to this shot.
Or okay.
Or you want to go Sky Cam?
Well, it's gonna be out of focus.
Oh, well, we'll get
Where
it.
do
in
I go?
focus.
Boom.
And then, yeah, there you go.
Look at that.
Come back a little bit.
and then
Look
over
at that.
here, that's really sexy. Like,
yeah. Well,
Bobby,
and that was
like-
the thing where it read like any other James Bond or Black Widow, right? Of them like getting in there in their dress to the nines. They're in there and they're like dancing with somebody that's really their enemy, but is also sexy.
Yeah,
But
I
usually
mean-
it's hetero.
Yeah, and I guess that's the thing is like I'm very respectful about where different tastes are in terms of reading this book about, like a homosexual character, and I get that not everyone just wants to like see a bathhouse in comic book form. But with that, I was just like, okay, like I don't really need to be sensitive about this. Like I don't think this is going to make anyone so uncomfortable that they would complain about it. Plus, those suits look good. I drew them in the letters column. You see my sketches where I like gave it to the artist because I was anyway. But yeah, that happened, and I'm trying to think of. Oh yeah, I knew that was going to happen, and then I knew that the whole issue Doc N calls Bobby Snowflake,
which I fucking love.
and then I just like put in some fucking gay rage.
Cool, Greg.
with
Can you go to
him.
that one again?
Boom.
Dang.
Where Bobby just like throws
Like
him.
Hadoukens him into the...
Yeah.
With
When he
a
comes
big
over and
snowflake.
leans on it while talking to him and he's screaming, I thought that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I thought that was too.
Yeah.
But those were the main things I knew, and I just like built the plot around that. I was like, okay, how do those things happen? Like, what do I do? And it worked out. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with this book. It's teaching me a lot about storytelling. For someone who like studied in school and has worked under some pretty big people who are good storytellers, I was just like, how am I still learning? And then I remember the advice I give people, which is like, you're always a student.
Yeah, but nobody wants to hear that.
No.
They want to master their craft and know everything.
I'm not a master of any craft.
Oh, I don't believe that.
I'm the master of baiting. I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
So did you like Bobby Drake as a character before you were responsible for doing this? Like, did he speak to you?
That was the thing that got me the job. Like, no, like he was just always around. I had like maybe 1 or 2 Iceman action figures growing up in my mid-20s, and I just thought like he was just always there. And I thought about that, and I was like, oh, he's just kind of hiding in plain sight. Like he's that guy who you don't really stare at too hard because he's deflecting. He's the funny guy. The funny guy comes in and comes out. Like, you all know comedians. You use humor to hide in plain sight. And so I just ran with that. And someone got mad at me because I said that like I like have finally like kind of fallen in love with the character, like now that I've like stared at him a lot. And someone just like misunderstood what I was saying on Twitter. Well, yeah, Twitter.
What a
didn't understand.
surprise. Wow, 140 characters didn't convey the whole point.
But oh no, it was an interview. Anyway, whatever. Twitter, the end. But the person was just like, oh, like now that he's gay, you love him. Everything else. I was just like, no, fool. Like you're getting it wrong, and I'm not gonna reply to you because it's just gonna blow up in my face. So I'm just gonna say this on Kinda Funny instead.
Damn right. Yeah. So,
Oh, that's a screen.
oh yeah,
Sure
it's
is.
a big LED.
I thought those were real.
You would be the first.
Yeah, exactly. So, when you get approached, are you getting approached because you're gay and that you're a prominent comic book writer, or is it that they knew you, or how did it work? I mean, you talked about it, right? Do you pitch Iceman or something?
I'm sure it was all of those things.
Yeah.
I mean, because Marvel is working really, really tirelessly. Really, I can say really more often. They're working tirelessly to give more Kamala Khans, like to just successfully, artfully, masterfully bring you a new modern hero that speaks to not just, like the kinds of straight white dude stories we've been reading. I think they pulled it off with Miles Morales.
Yeah.
So yeah, with Bobby Drake, they were like, okay, we want to do this, but it like first things first, it should definitely be a gay dude writing it. And then my editor said to me it was because of all the memoir stuff I was doing at Image Comics. Like he was like, you reflect a lot. Like you can bring a sort of depth and characterization to this that I don't know, which other candidates can. So yeah, and then also having had a relationship and proving that I can meet deadlines and having a reputation in the industry for being a skank, that helped.
Of course, as long as everybody knows you, right? This Comic-Con tramp all over San Diego.
You know me.
So here's my next question then in that vein is the fact that when you're making your memoir stuff, are you worried any time about that being a turnoff to a Marvel, to a DC, to a big company? I mean, you put out a comic called The 9 Weirdest Dicks I've Sucked.
Yeah.
Like that's that's awesome. It was awesome, but it was just like, huh. You're like you're alternative and you're rebelling, but then you're working for Marvel too.
Well, I mean, like I know we're supposed to be funny here, but let's
No, you can do whatever you want.
Well, no, but to get real, like I've had some pretty like low points in my life, and like, well, yeah, you're aware of that stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like if you come back from wanting to die, like nothing matters, and nothing scares me in a lot of ways. I say that and someone's gonna like hack my bank accounts now, but bank account singular. There's nothing to hack.
Take all the debt you want.
Yeah, you want that U.S. bank debit card? Go for it. all $70 are yours. But you know, I just don't care. You know what I mean? I've done everything I've wanted to do, and so everything now is kind of like gravy. And I've tried to do things to make people happy and to do myself sort of on terms of other people's expectations, and it's just miserable. I don't want to be that person. So like I will just be completely honest, and if it doesn't work, I walk away. Like I just walk. Like if it doesn't happen, then I stop doing comics, and that's okay. I've done a fuck ton of comics. Like what else is there to do? You know what I mean? Like I'm writing in the office that I want to write in. Like I don't have aspirations for anything else besides like just doing more of this and having fun. So, you know, no, I'm not like, I wasn't scared of it. I did think about it. I was like, why'd they hire me? Like, but at the end of the day, I try to be a respectful person when it comes to other people's toys and other people's sandboxes. And I've done a lot of licensing work, you know, and I understand where I fall with larger bureaucracies. So I think that's what makes me suitable, is like I can be me and I can go over there and do weird me things. And the nice aspect about Big 2 shoppers is it's really hard to get them to go look at your creator-owned work. So like they don't even know half the time who I am and what I've been up to. And like someone said I was like, they were like, you're a breakout. I was like, breakout? I've been at this since I was 15. Like like it's my time. I'm like John Hamm, like famous after 30 or whatever.
You're making
Was he working a lot, or was he just working a few years before Mad Men? You would
No,
know.
he was working a lot from what I understand.
Yeah.
Of course they would. He's a Mizzou grad, just like myself. MIZ. And then John's watching Home Alone
you,
2.
you piqued my interest with this dick book. What is it?
It's a book called The 9 Weirdest Dicks I Sucked. And do not, please, just out of courtesy to me, you can show the cover, but don't show the page.
Oh, I was going to show it to Tim.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I know. You can go buy it on SinaGrace.com.
Oh, yeah, my Big Cartel website is just myname.bigcartel.com. But it's, I was at Emerald City Comic Con one year, and we were just talking, like, I was talking about this one dick I sucked, and it was really a weird dick. And I drew it, and people were like, "Oh my god, I want to see a book of this." And then, so I like went and made these like little zines using a sheet of paper, like for all you DIY kids out there.
Very good cover.
It's so inappropriate. But so I made this like little sort of. Originally, it was the 6 weirdest.
Oh, okay, but then you found 3 more.
Yeah, and there's a bonus one in there. As you saw.
I know, but I don't want to. That's that's a
Spoiler.
thing. Exactly. I don't want to throw people off yet. I don't want.
But and here's the thing for anyone listening, we can't see the comments, which is probably for the better. It's a celebration. I think everything and everybody is weird, but these ones were just very peculiar in a funny way, in a fun way to draw. So yeah, I did that. The little zine, like I just kept selling out, and everyone in Artist Alley was like super digging it. Like all these people who I like was like, oh my god, like they're talking back to me. like I think I gave one to Babs Tar, and she was like, cool, and I was like,
Babs is awesome.
Babs Tar just said cool. You
Babs Tar
know,
there?
I know.
We're big Babs fans.
Who isn't?
Yeah,
Who
exactly.
isn't actually?
Monsters. People who have no taste, I think, in art and comics and stuff like that.
Fair. Okay.
Yeah, fair. Okay, good.
Someone working at an Albertson somewhere doesn't like her. And then, yeah, and because of that, again, when that kind of reaction happens, or when you get that kind of response, you just sort of double down and do more of it. And then I did it as the zine you saw there, paid a month's rent in profits. Like, I'm really happy with it because it turns out pretty much everyone wants to buy it except for lesbians. Straight dudes want to buy it because they want to see if their dick is
Which
weird
weird
in
dick is theirs?
comparison.
No, these are weird dicks. There's some weird ass dicks in there. The one with the urethra pointing down or whatever. I was like, oh, what the hell is that?
Oh my god, I have a name. I know what that. I'll text you later. That's a
Clinical condition?
It's a disorder. I
Okay.
found out. Yeah, there's just very peculiar things, or half circumcised, or so on and
couldn't
so
finish the
forth.
job.
Couldn't get the job done.
Half
Yeah,
circumcised.
No, that was actually the disorder, but it makes it look like.
Oh, now I feel like an asshole.
No, well, you know, I feel like an asshole for putting it in book form, but
Yeah, did you talk to any of
Calling
these
it
guys
weird.
about, hey, I want to put your dick in this book?
Or did you just name the dicks?
I changed the names.
Yeah.
What's sad and sort of makes me feel really, really bad about myself is, for the most part, like everything's a net positive representation of your weird wiener. And then there was one person whose wiener was just like bad weird. and he ordered the book online, and I was like, LOL, like I'll just like, why'd you buy it? And he's like, oh, to support. And I was like, you didn't have to do that. I'll just give you a free one. And it was just like a whole thing. I was trying to like return his money and try to not give it to him. And then finally I just had to like suck it up and be like, well, he's about to find out that like he's got something that isn't necessarily anyone's cup of tea. It was just very that was the one I felt really bad about, but I put it in the mail and I was just like,
Never talk to you again.
yeah,
Did he ever talk to you? No.
No, he stopped talking to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll do
Oh,
it.
no.
That'll do
Yeah.
it. Seeing your dick in a weird
Yeah.
dick book. That's
People really like their dicks.
Yeah.
But one
They
of
don't want
them,
him
but one of them
insulted.
loves it. He's tickled. He's like, it's the greatest. He's like, I'm not going to tell everyone, but I love telling my gay friends. Oh yeah, so gay men love the book for obvious reasons, and then straight women love the book because like they like finally get to talk about dicks with someone.
Sure. That was the thing. I was running my wife through all your work. And I'm like, this and Little Depressed One. I'm like, you've seen the art. I have it framed right there. And this, that, and the other. And she's like,
You
all right,
framed this
cool.
one?
And then she's like, and I'm like, you did this thing about dicks. She's like, what's the dick book? She's like, can I see the dick book? I'm like, God damn it. Here you go.
See, yeah, I got to do a hardcover version, like a nice,
Do a nice coffee
prestige
table.
format.
Yeah. Yeah.
The 20 weirdest dicks. Well, and then also like some, past tense bedfellows ordered it wondering if they were in it. And I was like, what is weird about like being just like straightforward, circumcised in like 5 inches? And they're like, oh, I don't know. And I'm like, and that's the reason why straight dudes like to look at it, because they just like, everyone assumes something's wrong with them.
We all want to feel like our dick's normal.
Yeah.
And this is the best way to look at the weird dicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a normal dick. I don't think I'd make the book,
No.
No.
which makes me sad.
You'd make the book.
just
you'd
want
make
The 9 most
Fit in.
milquetoast dicks I've sucked.
They're all just very similar looking going on there. There it is.
This is great. This is perfect. Right after.
This is what I brought you in for. That's
I'm
what
okay
I'm
with it.
Okay, cool. Just
I'm
making
good.
sure. So here's the thing. So run me through where it all starts for you, because I want to talk. We're talking about the Dick Suck book. Then there's Self Obsessed, but then there's a bunch of other like autobiographical stuff you've done, right?
Yeah.
So did you always set off to do that? And like you even mentioned it in your show, which we'll have to talk about too. And you know what I mean?
You make me sound so accomplished.
You fucking are. No, I mean, like, that's the thing of, like, why
Okay.
when I was, like, I'm trying to pitch people, I'm like, well, he's doing Iceman now, but you worked at Skybound. You edited Invincible, right?
Yeah, I was Robert's editor on all of his books at the imprint.
Yeah. So, and, like, because that was how I think it took forever for me to put it together as, I'm reading comics, but I'm not paying too much attention to everything, right? And it was that I found Little Depressed Boy, and I'm reading that, right? And Struble writes it, you draw it.
Yes.
And I'm reading that, I'm enjoying that, and then it was like your name's so distinct that I finally was reading Walking Dead letters, and I noticed, Sina. I'm like, wait, it is the same person or whatever. And I was like,
There can only be one in comics.
apparently, yeah. And then, to see you go and start doing all, at least now that's on my, I'm looking for it, to see you put out Self Obsessed, to see you make a YouTube show about Self Obsessed, is like, there's so many, in what you're doing, there's so many reflections of what we do in terms of like, hey, we're going to do this thing, and we're going to make a bunch of different versions of it, and we're going to get it out to our audience, and we know there'll be an audience for it.
Yeah.
So
Was
did
there
you-
a question in there?
Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
well, sorry, I was setting it up why you're awesome. But then,
I
when
much
you
appreciated.
start off to do comics, where does that start? Like, how did you know as a kid you wanted to
Yeah.
write or draw, or did you just want to be in comics and
I
something?
wanted to draw them as a kid. It's
Okay.
and it's in Self Obsessed, the book too. My yearbook from 5th grade, when it has your career aspiration, like everyone else said
What
an
are you gonna do when you
astronaut.
grow up?
I said comic book illustrator.
Yeah,
And you did it.
Nailed
Did
it.
it.
Yeah.
Started from the bottom.
Now I'm
I
here.
know.
Now I'm here.
kind of funny.
I'm upstairs. This is a big deal. We're upstairs.
You're above Comic Outpost Experience, who often has Iceman in the window.
Oh.
I've sent you photos before because I'm like, this is so cool.
That is cool. It's cool when I see my name, like when it's my full name on a Marvel thing. You're like, what?
Yeah.
That is
neat.
awesome.
It
This
is
isn't a
cool.
book
So-
I self-published about Sarah Jessica Parker.
You're an editing. You're an editor at Skybound. What does that mean?
Loads of things for Image Comics type books, because you have to. It's kind of like a production manager for like film and TV. Like you just have to make sure, or maybe production coordinator, or all of the above. But you have to make sure that everything's coming out on time, like that the artist is getting the script with enough time to draw the script, with enough time to give it to the colorist. Then you have to like make sure there are no problems with anything the whole way through, like not just typos, but like that the files are being submitted properly. And then for some books, I would have to do some like low key formatting to get to different people. Like on Walking Dead, I would take Charlie's art and put it on the right template, and then get that to Cliff Rathburn who would then upload the entire book, you know, and do all the gray tones, and then Russ Wooten would do lettering over those files. But like, you would have to make sure, because weird little things happen when you're on deadline. Like, you know, people rush, and sometimes like something doesn't get rendered, and it can get real close to the finish line with like that there, and you're like, oh shit, that panel has no grayscale, like, or gray washes, and so you have to do that. You have to make sure everything's turned in correctly. You have to check for continuity. You have to do the letters columns. You also have to like prep your materials for sort of like the convention cycle. Walking Dead 100 was maybe like the pride and joy of working there, just because it had like 17,000 covers. One of them was lenticular or whatever, the old school. And at the time, people weren't really doing that. So like when Robert brought it up, we had to like find a company that could make these things. And then you had to turn that file, like you had to, it's just so much coordinating. Then when you're adding a printer that is not your go-to printer to get those things to your printer, like, and then on top of that, we decided we wanted it out for Comic-Con. And so then we had to like change the shipping schedule so the book came out once every 21 days, which is breakneck, especially considering your boss has like a million other jobs on a pretty successful TV show. So that's kind of the thing, is like minding all of that and
doesn't
staying on
sound
top
fun.
of it.
That doesn't sound fun.
No, my stomach's churning thinking about
Comics
it. I do
sound like
not
they're supposed to be
editing
fun.
comics.
This doesn't sound fun. No, I don't like
No,
that.
I don't like that side of it. It's fun, and it taught me a lot, and it taught me how to like respect everyone.
Yeah.
You know, including production artists who you always have to be nice to like the person last in line, because they're the ones that always get shit on and have to turn things around in like 20 minutes, or you're like, oh hey, like can you like letter this whole book in like an hour? You know, not that bad, but you have to you have to mind these people and find out what they're working on too. Like Russ Wooten is not just lettering Robert books, so it's like you'd have to be like, oh, what else do you have on your plate this week? Because we're gonna get you Walking Dead number blah 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 Wednesday afternoon, and you know. So yeah, that's kind of what it is. Did that answer your? Did that?
Oh, absolutely.
For an editor.
Did that give you cramps? Mm-hmm. Good.
don't
So
like
when
it
did
one
you
bit.
start at Skybound?
2010, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
2010 to like 2013,
Okay.
and then
so,
I pieced out.
so they had already been going a while. Things were already.
No, I was the first employee of Skybound. Robert had been doing like, that's what had happened, was the show was in production, and Robert was about to get super busy, and so they were like, Robert should be working on these things, not like letters columns and balloon placements and reading through all the fan mail. Like, let's hire someone else to do that, because Robert was super hands-on up until I came along, and then things got so big that he had to start sort of letting other
Delegating,
people.
yeah.
Yeah, and again, as long as like, it's really just to make sure that like the thing that matters the most is getting his 100% attention, which is the writing, and like that's what's wonderful, is that he's like such a great leader, because he always does his work, you know, and you can't not do your work because he's doing his work. So he's a hard worker. You're a hard worker, Robert. I know you don't like Bob. I'm like still like,
Sorry, sir.
sorry.
She shoved your papers, run away.
No.
I still, whenever he responds to a tweet, I'm always like, and I'm like, oh, I've hung out with you before, but yeah, it's still cool to see
Are you
that
gonna,
happen.
do you like it? Are you like,
Oh yeah, of course I like it. You kidding me? Yeah, screenshot it, put it in a photo album at home.
do you text him? You're like,
No,
"Thanks for the
we're not
reply."
that close for sure. He
Well.
knows that I'm borderline stalkerish about it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not
Okay.
gonna get in there. He knows I have too many Invincible questions. I take it as a personal favor that there's an Invincible movie kind
You
of
don't-
happening.
You don't think you have just enough Invincible questions?
No, I got too many.
Because Invincible's my favorite of his stuff.
Yes.
You didn't know
That's awesome.
No?
I told him that.
Yeah?
I tell everyone that.
Is that why he fired your ass? Get you out of there?
He didn't, yeah, he fired my ass by me voluntarily leaving, and giving him all the amount of time to not hate me for leaving. No, I love Invincible. Invincible, I still read.
So
like
where you-
Walking Dead, I needed a break. You know what I mean? I'm just like, I'm
What,
zombied
after
out.
coming out of it or just in general lately?
Coming out of it.
Okay,
Coming
okay.
out of it. Although I'd imagine, I wonder what it's like now. Are you feeling fatigued? Like
I'm
you have,
caught up on it, and Walking Dead's always been more fun to read in batches.
Yeah.
I just mean the entire
month
like
to month.
franchise. Like,
Oh,
are you doing the
yeah.
show,
I'm over the
Fear
show.
and Talking?
You're over the show? You
I'm
haven't
over the
watched
show.
the last season?
Season 7, halfway
You watched
through.
the first episode?
I watched
Oh,
3
halfway
episodes,
through.
4
Yeah.
episodes, and I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah, I watched the first episode. I was like, I don't know if I could do this for at least a little while. You gotta
Yeah,
wait
the
and let
trailer
everything-
for season 8, I'm like, all right, you might get me back, but as of now, I'm like, I can't. But I'm still in the book. The book is still really, really good.
All in on the book. All in on the book. I'm running down me now.
Oh, yes,
All
yes.
in on the book. Walking Dead, the TV show. When they came back from mid-season break, I watched all the first half. Came back from mid-season break this last season. No one notified me of it, and so I missed the first 3. And then it was like, oh, I got 3 hours on my DVR, and I couldn't. And I
You
finally
have a DVR?
well, yeah, the Xfinity box.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right.
And then I was like, fuck it, and I just jumped in towards the end or whatever to catch the few and
You just
How
like
do you do that?
because like
seems
we've
terrible.
read it, we know what
but
happens.
It's different. It's a different world.
I catch up enough or whatever. I'm looking forward to seeing season 8. The trailer was great. Fear the Walking Dead, I can't do.
Gotcha.
Fear the
Oh,
Walking
yeah.
Dead's like
Fear-
a bridge too far.
Fear lost me. It was the season 2 premiere. We watched at your house.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't.
Yeah, because that was the thing where season 1, I was like, all right, this is actually better than I thought it was going to be. All right. And then season 2 was like, we're on a boat.
Season
Like,
1,
all
it
right.
was 6 episodes, if I remember correctly. The first 3 were so awesome. And it was like, this is what this show was promised to be. It's the outbreak, like as it's happening
Yeah.
in a different place, different time, different everything. Then the last 3 episodes happen. I'm like, oh, this is just Walking Dead.
And now it's just The Walking Dead.
And they
Yeah.
skipped a whole bunch of stuff too.
Yeah, there was a time jump. Well, why are you going to time jump after 3 episodes?
Yeah, no.
Then what's interesting is that this is different than before.
Well, that's what I
and
kept
the
saying. And I'll
chaos.
say it again, and you can go tell people about this one day.
Uh-oh.
All right, you get Bob on the phone eventually. What they should have done, and I know him and AMC are, but you get him on the phone one day about it. What they should have done was that it should have been Fear the Walking Dead LA, and then
Yep.
season 2 should have been Fear the Walking Dead Chicago, and it should have been that every time it's the outbreak happening. And
Or
what
an
it's like
Or
all
at a
the
different
series.
place.
Yeah.
Different time period, jump around
Because
everything.
now that we're through it and these people are just surviving or whatever, it's like, well, I already got that. I already
Walking
have that.
Dead?
I
Yeah.
don't need to see that again.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to just be like impartial. I'm like, I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
Because I remembered watching the season 5 premiere and being like, I need a break. I'm
Yeah.
good. I'm real tired. I can't deal with zombies right now.
Yeah, I understand that. So then
But
Invincible.
it's a
though.
well-made show.
Oh yeah, no. Invincible though. Let's
Yes.
talk about this some more.
Yeah.
Your favorite? How you feel about it ending?
You know, I kind of like that it's gonna be, when all is said and done, a beginning, middle, end, like Odyssey for Mark. You know what I mean? Like, I think I'm curious to see what happens. I'm scared because it's like, okay, there's 60 to 80 pages left, and it seems like there's still going to be a lot of fight left to happen. I don't know, for people I'm trying not to like spoil anything.
I mean, I've talked
They
about
fight a lot.
Invincible
Yes.
for years. They should have.
At this point, if you're not caught up, like you're fucking up.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm well, you know, it's also going to be Robert's like first ending on a series that like is longer than 30 issues too. So like, I really want to see how he lands the plane.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know. Are you sad? Are you happy? Like, because
I'm both. I mean, it's bittersweet for sure. Kevin's a huge Invincible fan too.
Huge Invincible fan.
And I think
love
we
it so
share that
much.
where it's like I think Invincible isn't great throughout. I think there's times where it's not dipped in where, but you know how
It's had its lows.
month to month is always so hard. Well,
Right.
I'm the same way. Like I got introduced to Walking Dead right in college. My final class, it was this capstone thing, and during the summer, my editor gave me these 2 books. And that's all that was out was volume 1 and 2 of Walking Dead.
Whoa.
And I was like, oh, cool. And this is exactly what I want: a zombie movie that doesn't end. And when a new trade would come out, I'd read all the trades before it to remind myself of it. And now with month to month, it's that thing where I turn on, I'm like, wait, what's
Where's
happening?
this guy?
Fucking
Yeah.
what? And it was so
Magda.
Invincible was the same
Still
way where I
remember
feel like
Magda's.
I love the beginning so much, but I think it's because I was so all in and I kept reading it over and over. And so then when it gets month to month, there's just times where it's like, what was
Wait,
happening
who
and
is
who
this?
is this?
Yeah.
And for a while there were so many threads going where I was just
Yeah.
like, all right, can we get back to what's happening over here with Mark?
Yeah, because there's like all that shit with the Viltrumites, but
Yep.
then Robot's like,
Yeah.
What's he doing? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
and
And
it's, yeah, he's also hard to tell. He's so morally ambiguous.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's very, yeah. I think it's all gonna come together though. I hope.
yeah, and
Yeah,
that's the thing. As I've noticed, I mean, like, as I feel like we're thundering down the conclusion here, because what, there's 6 left? 5?
7, right? We
7?
just had 5, or
Okay.
am I off?
I forget. I thought we had more than that, but it doesn't matter. I feel like we're actually starting to, rather than peel back the layers of the onion, start closing the onion.
It's
Yeah.
like Game of Thrones. A lot.
Yeah.
Where it's like
Things
we're
are
at
getting
a point
tied
now
up.
where things are
Yeah.
getting tied up, and it's like you can kind of see how certain things are going to happen.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. We've earned that after all these years. I'm so happy it's ending.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we've been in that world for so long, and I binged so many of the issues when I first started reading it like 2 years ago. And it's just like there's been so many storylines and so much growth for all of the characters that it hits a point where we are just starting to retread, especially with Robot, I feel. certain things were like, all right, we've seen things like this. And once they moved off planet and there's the kid growing up and all that, and like it just got a little bit, I'm like, you're losing me here a bit.
Yeah.
And so now I'm like, all right, cool, let's end it. Because it is weird that they did the whole reboot thing
and then that
right before the final ending of it. Like, I don't know, that feels like placed weird to me, but I think I'm excited that it's ending because I do think there has to be some plan, you know, like these, like you saying the landing, like how's he gonna land the plane? Like, that's a great way to put it. It's like you got to bring this together.
If you want an editor story, like editor gossip,
I do.
Because this has happened in the book now. We were putting one of those ultimate collections together.
Yeah, the big ones. I have those.
The 12-issue ones, not the compendiums.
Oh, okay.
And not the slipcase.
Yeah, the ones that are the bigger ones, right?
Not
Full
the
format.
slipcase,
So
but-
just trade paperbacks.
Hardcovers, but no slipcase.
Okay.
Ultimate collection.
Gotcha.
Anyway, we're putting it together, and as people are aware, there are just raw scripts in the back for people to see, like, oh, how is a comic made? And it was for the collection that had Invincible 75, and Robert, in his like panel description, was like, oh, Ryan, like draw this, that, or the other, because ultimately, like, down the line, Mark is going to be this XYZ to the Viltrumite Empire. Or like, what is he's like the heir lord apparent or whatever, like,
Yeah.
is this spoiler?
You had your chance.
Yeah, you had so many years, but like that was like, I just like didn't think like, oh, I should like read everything in this document to make sure there's nothing incriminating. And just like one day I was like, oh, let me just like take a look and make sure there's no bad language. And then I was like, oh shit, like if that got to print, I would have been fucking fired, because it was like a reveal 25 issues later.
Damn.
So I caught that. But you wouldn't think. You just have to have this brain that's just like, okay, what can go wrong, and how can I find things that I could never expect to go wrong? Like, it's nuts. Comic books is like, yeah, editing is very tough.
So
writing is way easier.
when you get to Skybound, had you already been going in the industry a while?
Yeah, I
Okay.
was an editorial intern at Top Cow in high school. Yeah, baller. And then I self-published a lot.
Yeah.
And I worked, on the high school newspaper and the college newspaper, and like worked on various publications. So I had a lot of experience just like making books and putting them together, and then writing and drawing them, going to conventions. And so that, I think, is what drew Robert to me, was just the hands-on nature of my experience, because Image Comics is very much like, send us the files and then we'll get it to the printer. Like, they have some production artists and whatnot, but really it's on the creator to assemble the book and like get that to them. Like, that's not their job, is not to like prep these things, because they're a different business model.
Sure. Because it's creator owned everything. They want you doing it, right?
Yeah.
So what
Yeah.
do you leave Skybound for?
Myself.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just very stressful. I was drawing that series you mentioned, The Little Depressed Boy. I was working on a graphic novel called Not My Bag. And I just didn't have a very healthy lifestyle. Like, I was just always stressed out, and I was kind of doing a bad job being an editor, like, just because I was burnt out, you know, like, to do that, like, nonstop, and to have pursuits of your own, it's just like you hit a wall. And so I just looked at my finances and cut everything in half and like took the plunge. It was super scary, but I did it. Still going. What is that? 3 years now? 4 years? 5 years.
Jeez.
5 years
We're
now.
all-
I've been
Time moves quick.
It does, huh? Getting married at the end of the month.
Walking
I
Dead
sure
was
am.
on issue 102 when I left.
Jesus.
It's on like issue like 340 now, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the weird thing about it, is like going. Do you miss it ever? Because I mean, like, Walking Dead is such a phenomenon, and granted, it was then too, but I mean, now it's even more, right? It's everywhere.
Oh yeah. It's more like I have envy of how Skybound has grown. That company is massive now, as you're all aware. Like, you've seen, just like they have like, a YouTube platform.
Yeah.
They have multiple comics. The creator-owned comics are getting like more press than Robert's books sometimes. Like Redneck is Skybound, right?
They have a beautiful studio with an LED wall, courtesy of Matt Scarpino.
It's true.
Love it. But at any rate, I miss not being able to like be a part of its growth in that way, and to be a part of them sort of developing this like larger infrastructure to do cooler things. I miss that, but I don't miss how hard the work is, because everyone works super hard there. There's no department that isn't putting like 110%. So I couldn't do that again for another person. I can only do that for me, like to work.
I was
going
gonna
to
say, yeah, you act like you don't that it was so much hard work there, but then again, you're on your plate right now, or when you're doing a million different things. But like, so you start writing self-obsessed.
Yeah.
At what point do you think you're gonna make a YouTube show about it as well?
Well, back to kind of not funny. I was in the middle of a depression. I had left LA. Like, I had gotten out of this relationship. My grandmother died. I was just like I just couldn't do anything.
What year is this?
This was 2014, I think, or 2015, beginning of 2015. And I was living up here in Oakland. I think we had gotten drinks that era.
Went to Hard Water. He drew me a page. It was very nice.
You heard it here. And I was about to give someone one of my like production favors. Like, I was about to like be like, oh, let me hook you up with my friend. He'll give you a deal. And then I was like, no, like these are your favors. Use them for yourself. And then I was like, well, what would you do with these favors? Because growing up in Los Angeles, like, people like that, it's just Hollywood's their job, and it's not necessarily the glamorous stuff. It's also like sound and lighting, owning a camera, blah blah blah. You're looking at me so intensely.
I'm listening.
It's the lighting,
you're
too.
weaving a story. I like to hear it. This is what the show's about, right, Tim?
You're right, Greg.
I'll check.
Cool Greg is checking on something that's happening right now. No, you're doing great, Cool Greg. Call out problems you see him.
Should we pause?
No, I think it's for the stream at home. You don't have to worry about it. Kids,
Okay, cool.
Kids listening on MP3 right now, bopping around in their golf cart. They're
around
fine.
their golf cart.
Yeah.
Yep.
Golf
Greg.
cart?
All right.
Is that verified?
Right now, if you listen to the show while driving a golf cart, I want you to tweet at Sina.
With
Let 'em know.
video. Pixar, it didn't happen. Please.
Please.
It's just Robert
Chris is
Kirkman.
working.
He's like, I'm on set.
Yeah.
This is bullshit. But at any rate, no. So I was like, okay, well, how do I I have all these favors. I don't have money. What's like what? And basically, when you think about production, like, you can't, like, stunts and animals and kids make things expensive. So it's like, well, what can I do that I can shoot inside buildings without any permits, use all of my like actor friends, cash in all of these favors, and like also utilize knowing all these like bands that I do art for that I like do for free because I just like them, but like also I'm like, well, like now I have a favor too, besides like free concert tickets. So
Had you already done the book? Was the book already?
I did a one-shot version of it, like
Okay.
a 40-page version.
Yeah.
Between Burn the Orphanage arcs.
Okay.
And I guess I'd talked to Eric Stevenson because I was like, this is the best I can do right now. I'm going to just do a graphic novel version. And he was like, that's fine. Much love to you, Eric Stevenson. He always just is like, if it makes you happy, like, I'll publish. I want to publish it because he's like, you doing you is more interesting than like you drawing, work for hire.
Sure.
So, and at that point, I guess the book must have come out, the book had come out because I remembered I was like, there's only so much you can do to promote memoir, especially sloppy memoir, because it's a sloppy book.
What's the pitch of it?
It's just basically a collection of strips dating back to when I was like 15, and they're all autobio, but then it's like peppered with these like id ego and super ego interviews with like different people in my life. Like, one is this British gay artist named Sina Sparrow. He has my name. He's gay. Like, he works in comics, but he lives in London. So we interviewed each other, being like, let's see if we have connective tissue. And then I had a conversation with my friend Ryan O'Connell, and then I like interviewed Colleen Green because she's like this super cool LA punk girl who like has the dream life to me. Like, she just does what she wants and takes care of herself and, does it well. So that's why she has a following for it. So yeah, it's what would you call it? Like one of those like blankets, like a quilt. It's like a patchwork.
Yeah, it's
quilt.
a patchwork. Yeah, but and again, so it's his stories. It's his. Sorry, I'm so like intently listening to him and driving the show. Like, it's his stories and stuff. But like, so not only does he do it, there's an audiobook version of it, and then he starts.
Do
this
not
YouTube
pursue
show.
that. It was me super high reading the book out loud. After an hour, I go, all right, if anyone's still listening, email me. and I will finish reading the book to you. Because I thought it would be like really funny, like a really funny gag. Like, how do you do a comic book audiobook? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, and on panel 2, it's 2 girls talking, and the first girl says, and it was taking like 15 minutes. Like, I was like, this is like, every page is like 7 minutes because I have to describe everything. So I get like through a third of the book, and I'm just like, you know what? This is dumb. I don't like this gag. Like, I'm stopping now, but uploading this because the fucking cover says there's an audiobook.
So fucking good.
So stupid. So stupid.
That's so funny.
I
So
love it.
I
what
couldn't even
happens when you
stick
get-
to my own fucking gimmick. I haven't even listened to it. It stresses me out. I just made the production girl.
Do you ever get emails?
I think a friend did, like a Twitter friend did, and I was like, no, fuck you. Like,
Yeah.
like no, I know you. No.
You don't get it. You don't
I
get
love
to do
that.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like more like someone who could be a potential like lifer. You know, if I already
Yeah.
have you signed, sealed, delivered, I'll just give you a drawing to get over there's no
The
audio book.
version of the book.
But yeah, so I shot this web series, and Daniel Friedman, the guy I did Burn the Orphanage with, he's like a director, so he pulled in a bunch of favors for me too, because with our powers combined, we had like a really sleek and nice slick or sleek. What do you think?
Either one would have gone well. Yeah.
Either one would have gone well.
Slick, right?
But we had
But
like
it's-
we had like a
No,
nice
it's sleek,
product
yeah.
in our hands
Oh.
between my music connections and friends who are in bands giving us music for, you know, no fees, and like these actors who I knew, and him like bringing in these people like his DP and his like lighting guy. Like, we just had like a really nice product on our hands.
That's 100% true. I remember when you started tweeting about it, and hey, we're doing this. I think you emailed me, right? Of like, hey, we're doing this web show.
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
love for you to check it out at some point. I was like, all right, cool. And you know, I think of the quality. I think at the time we were still in the spare bedroom, like, right? And I'm like, I know how hard it is to make YouTube content. There's no way. Seeing I click on the first video, I'm like, motherfucker, this looks like a real show. Like, it's a real thing. And like your counterpart in the first episode, who's like, you know, one of the main characters through it, your female
Amber,
friend,
yeah.
like, she's a real actress that I
Yeah.
recognized from things. I'm like, what the fuck? How is he doing this?
Yeah, and well, yeah, and then it's anyway. So yeah, it did well enough, and then we did a second season, which, if you want some real drama,
I do.
I do.
Oh my
definitely.
gosh,
We love
this
drama
was
on this show.
like, this was like You're wondering, oh yeah, for people who aren't aware, like, I am sick right now, but I'm here pulling this off. But I was like, we shot that thing a month after my surgery. I had, for people who don't know, I have this disorder in my esophagus called achalasia. I'd gotten 28 pounds underweight. They had to cut me open and cut the muscle out of my esophagus and flip some stomach tissue over so I could swallow food and liquid like normal people do. So a month out of surgery, I had this thing scheduled to shoot. And then on top of that, one of the investors who was like, I'll give you $20,000 to shoot this second season. And then he was like, actually, like, money's kind of tight. Can we get it down to 15? Basically told me like 2 weeks before shooting that he ran out of money.
Oh no.
God.
And I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, do I keep, like, what do I do? And I called Amber because, like, true to that web series, like, when I have a problem, I call her and she
Yeah.
gives me good advice. And she was like, don't do it. She's like, you just got out of this thing. Your health is the most important. And I was like, even you saying that's making me still want to do it. So I'm going to do it. But I had to level with everyone. And it was really humiliating to go to some people and be like, I know I had promised you a rate if you can come down, or if you can take, you know, an extended invoice period. Like, I'm telling you the truth. Like, this is just going to come out of my wallet, my pocket. You already know what my work situation is. Like, it's just going to take a while. And everyone was great, you know. My mom gave me some money. My friend, I'll never forget this. My friend handed me just like a wad of 20s, and he's like, this is to help you out with your shoot. And I was like, oh. So people really like came and rallied, and we pulled it off. And I looked so sick, but it's fine. But yeah, we got that second season out, and also I was going to direct it myself. And then I brought my friend Kevin in, who was actually like supposed to do the first season, but timing didn't work out. And he and his partner flew down from San Francisco every weekend to direct this thing. And he like cut it. And you know how expensive all of this stuff is if you do it above
Everyone needs a
board.
Kevin. Happy Apple.
You hear that, Kevin? Kevin Sonicson, everyone. Heart of gold.
Just like our Kevin.
Your smile is amazing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I
Does anyone need
had
water?
to learn it.
Yes, please
Okay,
and
I'm
thank
gonna
you.
go
Sure,
get
yeah, it's super hot in here. That's why you hear the fan, like we were saying. Kevin, you want some water?
I don't think it's that bad. Yes, I'd like some
Thank
water
you.
with ice, please.
Cool. Well, he's doing a
Don't
water
we
run
have
there.
someone for that?
Yeah, but he's got to pee, I bet. That's usually what Tim does. That's usually his excuse to get out of here. Hi, Kevin.
He needs
He
a
has a
break.
fascinating.
That's what I was
story.
saying, right? I know. Like when early.
Also, your
that?
work on Little Depressed Boy, fucking love.
Oh,
Like
man,
the
I love
art
that
is
book.
so
Yeah.
amazing.
Thank you. That's that book is so special to me. Sean, you're probably gonna hear this or see this or. Sorry
See,
for me talking
he-
about dicks, but I love you.
He's one of those guys I think I've scared off because I think I was too big a fan. You know what I mean?
Sean?
Yeah. I came
don't
on too
think so.
strong. Scared
Really?
him off on Twitter, I bet. Yeah. Because I really like that book. Where the fuck is more of that book, you know?
Working on it,
Sure,
literally.
I'll believe that when I see it.
I will send you inked
Picture
pages.
didn't happen. Okay, fine. Whatever.
I can-
believe when I see it.
You know what? Hold on.
Oh,
No. No.
I can do this. You watch yourself. Well, keep talking. I can talk.
No, this is what I was talking about, and it's I know you've watched some of the content here and there. You know, the show usually has topics, but when I said you were coming in today, I was talking to Tim about it. I was like, I don't think we should do topics. I think we should just talk because there's so much to talk about.
Here's a
with you.
page before I scanned it. You haven't seen this page before, have
I
you?
haven't. No, that's a new page. That's real.
Mm-hmm.
That's a real page. All right. So another 4 years, I'll probably see this book.
Here's another page.
Okay.
So it's being worked on.
Okay, cool. I believe you. I believe
right.
you. I'm excited. I want to see it. I wanna see
All
what's
also,
going on.
this last issue was phenomenal.
Thank you.
Yeah, like especially the ending and like the climax of like how that story has been building out without being too spoilery. Like I really loved it, and the stuff that you were. Yeah, I don't want to get too much into it, but
I say we do it. Everybody should read Iceman. We've said that a million times. Hey, Joey's bringing waters back.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Joey.
all right.
That's happens.
Oh,
doesn't it?
no.
Nobody knows whose that water that is. I think that's mine.
It's mine.
No,
No,
that-
not that one. His.
No, I had the exact same glass.
As
Trust
me?
Yeah. We both had kind of funny ones.
Okay. Excellent.
No, I want to talk about Iceman. I want to spoil stuff for Iceman. It's 5
Do it.
issues in. You should read it and do everything.
And it's been out a week. That's like 7 months in internet time.
Exactly.
That's true.
Is the internet like dog years? Like 20 minutes is just like.
Last week's stuff is like feels like a year ago. So yeah.
Can I also tell you, like,
Please do.
I just have so many scary dystopian thoughts running at all times. Like, I'm just very, like, I tell my boyfriend this, I'm like, I'm just scared that this is the last chapter of mankind. Like, I really thought we would have like 100 years before we'd have to see some of this fucking Ray Bradbury shit go down. And it's like, no, I like worry so much that like it's just like done. Like, to me, I think like it's like, oh, they'll never work on climate change because like it's just a constant like barrage in the media cycle and the news cycle. So like, why would they want to get rid of that? They can control us. I'm getting all like crazy, like the dude with the golden shovel in Twin Peaks. You know, you gotta shovel your way out of the shit. I just get so scared. Like I have this whole concept for a comic book, and now I'm not gonna do it because I'm gonna say it here, and someone else is gonna do it.
No
'cause
way,
I
don't
draw
worry.
shit.
Everybody, this is copyrighted.
Yeah, I already copyrighted
That's how that
this.
works.
But like I had this whole thing where it's like, you know, kind of like a little bit like Spike, like a little bit like Her, that movie, and a little bit
Yeah.
like The Lobster, and a little bit of like Snowpiercer, but like this future where just like everyone's living in pods, you know, and they're just like embracing VR, complicit, like no drama about it. Like everyone's just like, VR is great.
Sounds good so far.
And this guy like falls in love with this girl, or it could be a guy falls in love with a guy or a girl falls in love with a girl. But for some reason,
Stop
this time,
pushing your gay agenda.
I think I do want this to be super heteronormative for some reason. I'm like, it's just a guy for a girl. I don't know. Like, this one's not gay. But, he's like, oh, like we should, like, let's do it. Like, let's meet IRL. And she's like, whoa. And so then when they try, they realize that it's a lot like, they're like, oh, like I thought I was like, you know, willfully in here. And then it sort of turns into this whole escape thing and them fighting to find each other. And I wanted to like see if I could still find a happy ending out of it. And basically like the massive like Snowpiercer twist is that like this is all one big scheme to like keep people from like not wasting so many resources if you just keep them in these fucking pods, like not moving or doing anything, not consuming so many plastic. Oh, these aren't plastic.
No.
Damn.
Yeah.
So many plastic toys.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, and then like, so the Earth is regenerating after all this like stuff. And like, so when they finally do find each other and like learn about all this crap, they actually like are in paradise because the Earth is like beautiful and green and there's no one there. And so it's like just them and they're able to like be together.
I like that. Do that.
Yeah.
You should make that.
You can still do that. Max Landis
Yeah.
came on and pitched a whole movie, and then he sold it to Netflix.
Did he?
Yeah. He's a real son of a bitch.
By beat.
He's like, I'm just recording this. Like, this is just for me to like.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, exactly.
He like
Take
cuts
notes
the
later.
clip and sends it to them, and he's like,
Let it
Yeah.
roll in. Let it roll. Let it roll.
I love that. But yeah, no. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, I got real dystopia.
It's fine.
Man there for a minute.
It's okay. It's bad. It's understandable. Things are scary. You got this. You got North Korea doing stuff.
There's a lot of shit going
terrifying.
on.
Yeah.
Wildfires
Yeah.
in LA.
Earthquakes.
Is that still
In
happening?
LA? Oh, that was
Multiple hurricanes.
Yeah. I saw that from the freeway. I could see it.
It looked like Lord of the Rings shit. It's scary as fuck.
It's real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know what to do.
Keep making comics.
Keep
it
making,
going.
keep fucking using trees up. I'm thinking about that too. I'm like, I should use recycled paper, and I'm like, nah, I'm tired. But I should. Like, I went to UC Santa Cruz. I know how to be a practical activist, but I'm just tired now that I'm 24.
Oh my God.
Nailed it.
Don't look a day over 21.
In this light.
Yeah, exactly. Staring straight up at the lights. How much of like the journey of Iceman in here, right? And like, because Kevin's talking about the climax in number 5 here, which is him talking to his parents, right, and dealing with coming out to them. Is that similar to your story?
In some regards, like my mom is Persian and was raised Muslim. She's like incredibly progressive. She did not take it well at all. She was a single she's a single mother, so like she blamed herself. She was like, oh, it's because you didn't have a father figure. And then my dad was so weird because he wasn't even around to raise me. And he had a whole reaction. And I was like, what the fuck does it matter to you? Like, you're not even my father. Like, besides, like, you know, coming inside that woman, like, and then, like, paying for my college after 18 years of nothing, like, which is, by the way, like, I understand is a massive privilege to not have college debt.
Sure.
So that is the one solid. My dad has done a few solids. Like, he bought me, like, a laptop. He bought me, like, you know, an iPod when I was, like, 17 so I could look cool. The spinning wheel.
Oh yeah, we remember the click wheel. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I missed the click wheel. I remember I sent Apple a letter
Dark
being
times,
like, I
dark
do.
times.
I
No,
missed the
come
I missed
on.
the lighting because it would be like red and like cold blue before the very first one where it was like it wasn't the gray wheel. It was the same white material
Clear
as the
plastic.
rest of it.
Well, not clear, but like very semi-clear.
The ceramic white looking
Yeah,
one.
and then the lighting would like be. Oh, I loved it. Anyway, whatever. I know.
When do you come out to them?
Oh.
Issue 4.
No, right now.
Right now, we're gonna send this to your
On
mom.
this video. Mom, college.
Gotcha.
Different, you know, people got informed at different points through college. And like some people knew as like, you know, early as high school, like senior, junior year. But for the most part, the press release went out
Gotcha.
18 through 21.
Gotcha.
But yeah, no, it did come from personal places. I didn't like the line that Bobby's dad says to him.
At the very end.
Yeah, that's not, I mean, I guess it's just emotional. He's just like, he says, I love you. Nothing changes that. And that's something my friend's, I think his mom said to him this summer. But she is very conservative, very Christian, Republican. And like, I'm drawn to that because that's what Bobby's parents are. They're people who are not really capable of being chill with this. Word choice.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Iceman.
Someone kill me.
Buy it now.
Don't kill me. But yeah, I just came from a very personal place in order to like, I don't know, to just make it like impervious to criticism. Like you can say anything you want about like the cheesy dad jokes or like this, that, or the other, but like you can't say that the book isn't earnest.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm earnestly trying to like tell a really great story here about a very, you know, specific type of person. But yeah, people, I don't know. I've gotten in so many fucking internet arguments with people about this. It's like whatever.
Has the audience taken it well? That Iceman's gay? Is that something I haven't?
think so. I still get, this is the best. I clapped back super hard on Saturday because I was just like not in the mood, and this person tweeted that I ruined their favorite character by making him gay. And I was like, oh, and this person also did like a kind of like that kind of emoji where the mouth is just like straight across. And so I clapped back. I was like,
I like that you clap every time you do it.
Clap back.
Yeah, all right.
But I was like, A, I made him more dope. B, like he came, like his sexuality was revealed 2 years ago before I got the gig. And C, you ruined one of my favorite. Oh, that's what they said. You ruined one of my favorite characters with your agenda. And I said, you ruined one of my favorite emoji with your agenda.
Damn, son.
Yeah, that's
I'm
how you
all
get
about that.
Light them up.
I mean, I think it's great because X-Men has always been, I mean, all superheroes have that thing where what it relates to and what it's actually trying to say or whatever. But I think X-Men's so special because it is straight up about diversity and people being treated differently and what they need to face and all of that. And the sheer conflict between Professor X and Magneto is so brilliant to be able to be used as an analogy for, you know, being gay or, you know, whatever it is. But the fact that
it is. Sorry, I'm just teasing.
But with this, I love that it's both of those at once, right?
Yeah,
and
like metaphor gets thrown out the door in this one.
Exactly. And
Well, that's why it's
so interesting, because I feel like, especially with his parents and him dealing with them, I love that they are upset at him for both.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was what was so painful about it. Is that when I finally started paying attention, oh, Iceman's gay, this is the thing that's happening. It brought up that scene in X2, right, where it was very much him coming out as a mutant to his parents, and there was all this clearly. It's like, oh, this is how what people have to do when they come out as gay or whatever, and then have it piled on. I jump in here, I'm like, I wonder if his parents are cooler in this world. They're like, oh no, they're still the same assholes from the fucking movie, and they're mad about both things now.
They get like a little better and then they backslide.
Yeah.
Like, I think, you know, and you kind of do want that. Like, that's more honest than like being like, and then they're 1,000% chill and now they're in, you know, P flag. But yeah, like those inappropriate questions, like, yeah, my mom asked me some of those.
Yeah.
And you just answer because it's easier to answer than to not, which is weird. Anyway, none of you have to deal with this.
No, I know. I was trying to think about this, and this is, I think, correct. And also, is Sina the first openly gay person we've had on the GameOverGreggy show? I'm trying to think about it. I don't think we've ever had, you know.
That sounds right.
Yeah. Also,
Off the top
again,
of my
he's
head?
pushing this gay agenda, so maybe just because he's making such a big deal about it, it seems like.
All this means to me is I'm gonna get some fucking shitty ass tweets later.
No, oh no,
They're good? They're good
no,
people? You have good
100%.
people?
No, I
Okay.
understand. This is the same thing Max Landis thought when he came on here and was talking about shit. Our audience, we call them best friends. Like,
good.
We're a small group on the internet.
Awesome.
Like, they're not going to be assholes to you. That's not what
Because
they
like
do at all.
anytime I do something on IGN, it's like the comments are
Yep.
like
Yeah.
toxic.
And that's the exact point. You know, we all came from IGN, and the whole
Right.
thing was exchanging the reach of IGN for the intimacy of this. Because we have a community that self-polices. So if you come in and you act like an asshole, our community's like, we don't do that here. Do you mind leaving? And like nobody will engage with you as a troll. And so no, they don't go after anybody.
I
about
love
that.
that.
That's not, they're awesome. No, that's why we get to do this.
But
right.
the dude coming after you about the agenda and saying that you ruined his favorite character or whatever, it's so ridiculous.
Or her favorite character.
Or her. Sorry.
You know.
It was just a little frog Pepe guy. We don't know. No one knows for sure.
I feel like this is Bobby Drake, and I feel like
Oh, cool.
the way that he talks is the way that he would talk. What he's saying might be different,
Right.
but it's still the stupid dad jokes and he is still the funny guy, and I love that one of the main characters in this series is Kitty Pryde.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
love that because, you know, for the people that are familiar with Iceman's past, she's so important to that. And for her to be there with him and for him to be like, hey, can you leave? You're not adding to this conversation with the parents. I'm like, I love this. Like, there's so many dynamics going on. And like, that's kind of what's awesome about something like X-Men that has been around for so many generations of change throughout these characters and what they mean and who they are. But
Yeah.
everybody that knows X-Men knows Iceman, knows Kitty Pryde. So just even reading this, it's like, these are those characters. Like,
I mean, yeah, I don't know what else I don't know what else I need to do to, you know, prove my worth or like, you know, at the end of the day, it's like you either like the book or you don't, because it's like, okay, I'm an X-Men fan. Like I did as much research as I could like humanly do in terms of catching up on like eras that I missed,
Sure.
you know, like, yeah, because that's the thing is like I think I missed all of like Matt Fraction and Ed Brubaker's runs, and so I like read through those and skimmed because like I was like, oh, I'm just gonna like look for Bobby. Like I don't need to like watch like, you know, Cyclops and Emma like flirt and talk about how great their sex is. Like, do they do that in the book really? I don't know.
In that one run they did, that was a big deal where they were all like super like, eh.
They were just like super into each other
Yeah.
for a long time. But anyway, but yeah, I don't know what else to do besides like I care, I'm trying. But yeah, I think thank you for saying that, because I like that's what I like about X-Men books. I like that they're all friends and that they are evolving and that they've all been through so much together. Which is why it's like, if anything, if I had any, you know, aspirations or goals, it would be like, oh, I'd like to do an ensemble book, just something where I could like, you know, regularly let these characters kind of grow and evolve around each other. You know, Kitty can't have like much of a journey in Iceman. Like she learns to become a better friend or like whatever, but she's not like also leveling up in her own way. in the
Sure.
book.
She's supporting cast, not starring role.
Yeah.
One of my
she's-
favorite scenes, I loved the text messages
Damn it, you stole it.
from all the different heroes.
What is that? It's issue 2,
Three.
3 when they
Yeah.
open up and he's outside his parents' house and he texts all the heroes like, "Hey, I hate to do this text, but I'm gay," and they all respond.
I
and they all
thought-
have the best
last
fucking
one,
zingers.
Those the like
New phone
Boom
who
Boom.
dis-
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. I thought I was going to get in so much trouble for that. I thought everyone's going to be like, this is dumb, this is stupid. And everyone's like, this is LOL, like legit LOL. And I was like, sweet. You never know what the internet's going to get mad at.
And that's the
Or
thing.
you never know what the internet's going to love is actually the real lesson I've been learning.
True. No, the thing for me with the book, right, is that for somebody who comes in with basically a blank slate, you know what I mean? Like I've read an X-Men book here or there and I've seen the movies obviously, but Iceman I don't feel like I have a knowledge base for. To go in there and start from scratch and have it feel natural, but then it's a weird thing where it's a superhero book from, you know, the big two, where my favorite moments are all the non-superhero stuff. Where it is like he's texting, or his conversation with Kitty Pryde where she's like, "I'm not mad that you're gay. I'm mad that you didn't tell me. I'm mad that we didn't have a conversation about this." And like that's like there are these super honest moments in there.
Yeah. Well, those are my favorite X-Men books. There's like some random issue that Joe Madureira was drawing. And the entire Joe Mad. And all they did was make breakfast. It was like 3:36 or 3:37, right when like they were doing Onslaught or something. And it was just them like, I don't think there was like a conflict in the issue. They just like wanted to do a character piece for all of them, and it was just them making breakfast. And it's like one of my favorite issues. It has like some really good Bobby moments too. It's when Wolverine's all weird and feral and just like wears like a tattered piece of fabric over his face. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah. No, I remember. I was reading Wizard magazine. I remember the fabric over his face. Come on now.
I do not.
Oh,
Feral
really?
Wolverine
No.
or whatever his name was. Yeah. And that was when Storm had like just like 2 really long locks of hair, and then the rest was like kind of like cool modern bob or something. And she had that like, she just had cutouts everywhere. So now I'm getting gay talking about the fashion. It's like she was in cutouts and cobalt blue leather or something. I don't know what she was in. But yeah, that was for a teenager, 12-year-old, that was like the best.
Oh, sure. When you start off and you want to do comics, you're on your journey, you realize you're gay. Do you see a future in superheroes, or do you think, well, I'm gonna have to go this way? Because again, I mean, I don't know. This is me being Greg Miller, hetero, 34-year-old. I'm like, I think things are better now. And
29-year-old.
Sorry, 29-year-old Greg Miller. Where I think if things are better now, and anyone can do whatever. But did you see that being a detriment to an industry that was like super macho and hetero?
When I was younger, I mean, yeah, it goes back to like me saying like I would sort of perform versions of myself for people. And I remembered I was at WonderCon when I was in college, and I walk by a Top Cow artist at Artist Alley, and I'm wearing a pink polo. And he goes, "Oh, hey, what's up with that shirt?" And I was like, what the fuck is he asking here? So I go, "It's American Apparel." And he was like, "American Apparel, huh?" Like it was like I couldn't even wear a pink shirt, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and I just thought it's because of my complexion. I look good in it, because I do. You're like, I know,
Yeah.
I know.
I can see it. I can see it.
Yeah, I don't know about that pink polo.
But it was yeah, like I always was. And then I remembered being on a panel for Image Comics, and Kelly Sue DeConnick was on it, and I remembered having such bad answers to questions because I was like, I just never thought I was allowed to like tell specific stories. I just always thought you had to sort of make the character be white and have blue hair, black and blue, you know,
Yeah.
the Clark Kent,
Yeah, the
Bruce Wayne
Superman
hair.
stuff. Yeah.
And it just took me a long time to like recondition myself and train myself to be like, or you can tell what matters to you, and you're gonna have a smaller audience, but like at least it'll be really meaningful to those people. And again, it goes back to like Little Depressed Boy. Like that book doesn't sell 1 million copies, but the people who really respond to it are getting something that no Transformers artist is hearing, you know, at a comic convention.
Yeah.
Like, it, you know, like, or My Little Pony artists. Like, no one's coming up to them and saying like, "Oh man, I was in this bleak place," or, you know, I just felt alone, and what you did made me feel not alone. So that's humbling, and I'd rather take that than like money.
But you're getting some money now, right?
At least now I can pay rent.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Okay,
I can pay rent.
That's my thing about you is you're like this artist in the wind, man. You're just like, I can't pay anything, but guess what? I got 2 seasons of this YouTube show that looks better than most of the shit Kind of Funny does. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah. I don't know. That's kind of it. Like, I just, I see what being rich gets you, and it gets you nothing. Doesn't make you happier. Doesn't make you like yourself more. Liking yourself more gets you a lot. You know what I mean? So I just sort of learned how to like take care of myself and honor myself along the way.
Is that a takeaway from your depression you were talking about earlier?
I think it's just a takeaway of kind of like trying to do things one way in comics. The depression was like, oh, being honest about it might be okay. Like that might be a good idea. Because I always downplayed it, or I always just didn't, because it doesn't look the way other people's depression looks, or because it's, who knows what it is. Like it might not they had, I think mental health and the qualification of everything, it's still so subjective. And the fact that people are saying like objectively you are bipolar, or objectively you have this, and objectively you need this medication, it's all a fallacy. And it's just a way to kind of like, steer masses of people in directions, because there's no other way to handle, a population this big, to look at everyone case by case. And instead they're just like,
get in the bucket.
Yeah, like you need this, you need that, you need this. Like, bye, here. Like, don't come back. Like, that's a prescription for the rest of your life. And like, anyway, so suffice to say, it's like, I know that whatever I have, I don't want to medicate, because I don't know. I just like, it doesn't seem like the right solution to me. Like, I'd rather just weather it. Patti Smith, she kind of is the one that made me sort of rejigger everything. I read Just Kids in the middle of that depression. And she talks a lot about how her and Robert Mapplethorpe, who became this huge, visual artist, they came to New York separate of each other, became friends because they both just were desperate to like make it into the Velvet Underground scene, and they like hang out with Warhol and all this stuff. And like, they never noticed that they were creating their own scene because they were too busy chasing this other scene that was winding down. And same with Mapplethorpe. Like Mapplethorpe, there is no clear moment when he like realized like that this would be the voice that he could like monetize. And same with Patti Smith. She thought she was a poet. She thought she was a writer. She thought she was an artist. And the way music came into her was like, she did some spoken word thing and thought, oh, it'd be great if there was some guitar. And then slowly but surely that turned into her having a backing band and her sort of becoming a musician. You just never know. And that was that was like my biggest takeaway, is like, just stop worrying and just do the thing. And the rest will,
Kind of funny motto.
There you go.
just do the thing.
Yeah.
You should have,
I mean, we willed all this into existence, right?
you should have a hoodie with like a fucked up swish, and it just says, just do the thing.
And then I'll have to pay you for it, though. You just came up with that, see?
I'll do
Another
it for free.
copyright.
I'll do it for free.
Oh, there we go.
I want
All right.
5 hoodies though.
Okay. We can make that happen.
make
I think
it
we
Can we?
Well, they can't be bright blue. It's a long thing. No, we'll get to that. Well, they're coming eventually, fall or something, maybe. I don't know. Joey's always teasing me. As we wind down here, what's next in the short term, but then also, like, what would you want to do? Like, what do you still want to do in comics?
Well, what's next is more Iceman.
Yeah.
I'm super excited. The next story arc has the original champions. Black Widow, Hercules,
okay.
Ghost Rider. Black Widow is dead, but but she's a presence because she's dead.
Yeah.
We're gonna see more of Doc Hen in Iceman. Now that he's out to his parents, I can kind of explore his love life, as you were begging to know earlier.
I do, yeah. I want to know.
So that's that, and then
Do you think he's going to date other superheroes, or is he going to, are there mutants, or is he going to date people? What do you got up there? What are you doing?
I can't say.
God damn it.
I have so many. I have so many little micro plans.
Okay.
Is Colossus currently gay?
No, he's like always in love with Kitty. He's gay
He
in
was
the
gay
Ultimate
for a while.
comics.
Yeah,
That's
in
what
the
it is.
Ultimate.
Or
That's
in an
what it is.
alternate universe comic
Yeah,
thing.
it is. In the Ultimates, he is.
You're like,
always
you
gay.
should come at me and be like, so Cyclops still rocking like just like long brown hair here and the stubble. I'm like, that's Age of Apocalypse, dude.
Which was a great action figure. I had that action figure. I like that Cyclops.
They
one.
made Cyclops real like dope.
Yeah,
And Wolverine was missing the hand,
Yep.
and he was hanging out with Jean Grey, and she had that like 90s like boss bitch haircut.
Yeah.
Fashion. I guess I want to do a fashion book next. No, I don't. I'm taking my time on sort of creator owned stuff, and then if there's anything I'd want to do, like I said, it's like I would love I would love to do a team book. That would be really cool. And I sometimes think about like, oh, I want to do like Joker and Harley year 1, but that's such a like, it's just because it's a challenge. It's just because it's a challenge to respectfully and with like utter care to not being misogynist. Like, how do you portray this relationship that's like fraught with misogyny? Like,
Yeah, it's all fucked up.
It's an abusive relationship, but like to me, I'm like, ooh, I just really want to like if I want to do it, like I think I can do it, because like someone's gonna do it, and so I'm all in sync about it. I'm like, it's gonna be me, but I don't really I don't know that I want to work for DC because I just don't know the characters that well. So
You want to work for DC? Go do it. Call me. I'll tell you all about them.
you'll tell me all.
That's
about
how we'll do it. Yeah.
Well, Harley's like, I guess it's year 1, so I don't even have to know what she's up to now.
And
She's so popular. She's the Wolverine of
They're putting her in
DC.
everything, yeah. Well,
She's
I mean,
the
based
Deadpool
on,
of
it
DC.
is Oscar-winning Suicide Squad that launched her
Yeah.
into a new stratosphere. So
That doesn't
there it
seem
is.
right.
It's happened, though,
This
isn't
is
it?
a statement.
I mean, it's a real thing that happened,
You're right.
Kev.
You're right.
You can't stop it.
Oscar
You
winning.
can't take the Oscars back.
Did it win an Oscar for
It did.
something?
For makeup.
Sound design, right?
No,
No,
it's
it
for
was
makeup.
Yeah.
You're so evil.
I'm just pointing it out.
Is that the only DC movie too that's won an Oscar?
I think so.
Oh.
Have any of the Marvel ones won an Oscar? What? Dark Knight got
Heath
it.
Ledger.
Yeah, Heath Ledger got one.
Oh
Dark Knight.
right,
Yeah.
you're.
I'm
so
sure,
correct.
but I'm sure there's some score sound
Oh,
effects
there must
thing we
be.
don't know about. You know what I mean?
VFX,
The Oscars that go on
sound
Saturday
design.
morning or whatever. Like, I get out of here. We got a Boy Scout convention.
the creative arts Oscars or whatever they're
Yeah,
called,
yeah,
like the ones that don't have actors coming Oscars.
Exactly. The ones that have, they just do like all the awards go by.
Line, yeah.
Meanwhile,
yeah. This happened over there.
The Meanwhile Oscars, that's a good one. But yeah, that's what's up with me, and I'm just straight chilling.
Good.
What about you guys? What's up with you next? Wedding.
Wedding for him. We just launched a cooking show for me today. That's
I
pretty
saw.
cool. Yeah. Patreon.com/kindafunny.
What's an upcoming dish you're excited to?
I just watched today the roast chicken, the roast garlic chicken with this bread and onion dish all around it, and then the cast iron skillet.
Whoa.
Stoked about that. When
He's
we get
all
out there.
fancy now.
Yeah.
he used to just be just another dude. Now he's Chef Gregor.
I'm pushing my agenda for chef.
Yeah.
Are you trying to get on Food Network?
I am gonna make a tape here in the
Funny
next.
you say that.
Me and Tim or Nick, we have to talk about it this week. But I gotta bring one of them over with a camera. We're gonna make my MasterChef video. I want to make
Good God.
a audition for that.
Got to make it happen.
So
Yeah.
my
We're doing
friend, I can't say his name because
Gordon
he could get in
Ramsay.
trouble. No,
Guy Fieri.
He does casting for like MasterChef Junior, the kids
Oh yeah.
one. And I was like, so what's that like? Do you make them like take you on a date and like cook for you? Like you make this like 11-year-old like make you branzini or whatever? Like,
Yeah.
Or is that how you say it, branzini?
I don't know.
Whatever.
MasterChef. The whole idea is like you like to cook, but you're not like amazing
like-
yet.
yeah.
Which is exactly what I am. Seeing is on the Patreon episode. So for you watching on YouTube later, Cooking with Greggy would be live, or about to be live probably. And right now it's just in Patreon early access.
Okay.
And so like the amount of comments are like, oh my God, you got to learn how to use a knife better and all this shit. I'm like, no, we're not doing that. The whole show is that I just like cooking. Here, let me show you how to cook
Oh
something.
my gosh.
Yeah.
That would give me so much anxiety.
I've lived my life in front of the camera forever. I'm used to it.
No, I mean to watch you
Oh,
cook
okay,
would give me
okay.
anxiety.
It's one way to do it, I guess. I don't
Yeah.
If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Game Over Greggy Show each and every week. 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table, each bring a random topic of discussion for your amusement. If you like that, head over to patreon.com/kindafunny, where a couple of bucks get you early episodes, things you've never seen before. Phone calls from Tim. Tim, you got to call somebody.
Okay, right now.
No, not. Well, I don't think we have any of their numbers just ready to go. You know
No, you
what I
lost
mean?
your
I can
chance.
just-
It's over now.
Okay,
Dial
cool.
7
That was it.
numbers
No, hey, do you subscribe on Patreon?
Thank
Kind of
you.
funny. No, this is a hospital. If you got no bucks to toss away, no big deal. Head over to youtube.com/kindafunny, where we post the entire show topic by topic, day by day, until it goes up as one big video in MP3 the following Friday.
Yes.
I'm
no.
working on it. Come on.
I know. As your first gay guest, I understand.
Thank you. We'll have to come back and judge us more on it. You know what I mean?
I'll bring Alyssa Edwards, the drag queen herself.
There's a lot of drag queens in San Francisco. I feel like we could get somebody in here to teach us. It's got to be a thing, right?
Yeah, it's. I don't know. Let's not end on that note because
Okay.
I have nowhere to go with it.
No, don't. Well, the note to end on is that you're Sina. We love you very much.
Oh yeah, read Iceman, please.
Everybody follow him on Twitter.
Every sale and issue counts.
Pick up Iceman.
Please,
It's
thank
available
you.
at local comic shops like the one below us. Did you go in? Did you go in there?
I did.
You do that thing where you like walk in, you're like, "Hey guys, that Iceman book's looking
Recognize
pretty
me?
good."
No, I was more like stomach cramping and being like, looking for a friend. I'll be outside.
They're good people. You should go say hi.
Yeah, I'll go down and that's the problem is that it looks like a good store. I'm gonna spend like minimum $30.
Yeah, that happens.
That's the problem. But yeah, I'll go.
All
I'll
right,
check it
good.
out. But yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.
Boom.
Thanks for watching the Game Over Greggy Show. Click here to go to our Patreon page. Click down there to subscribe. Click closer to me to go over and check out Sina's show. Why not, huh? And then click down there to go check out Cooking with Greggy, the trailer. The playlist. We'll put the playlist there.